Good morning, students. My name is Zaripova Shakerjan, and I'm an English teacher of Urgenç State University. Our subject is Integrated Study Skills, and the topic is Communication Strategies. It is our ninth lesson for today, and today we'll try to speak about communication strategies. If you are ready, we will start. So at first, let's answer the question, what is communication strategies? It is the techniques of coping with difficulties in communication, which we come across in second language learning, in second language acquisition. So how do you think, which kind of problems we can face during learning second language? And today we'll speak about it. And as you see, there are given the terms, and we may have problems in the first point. So it is when a speaker perceives that there is a problem which may interrupt communication. It is called problematicity. And the second one is consciousness. It is about consciousness. So here the speakers who employ them are aware of having done so. So when the people want to speak, want to learn a second language, as I mentioned, they will come across with several problems not having self-confidence, and that's why they cannot accept the aim, learning language till the end. But when the people have self-confidence, they feel comfortable during learning the language, they can accept it. So the next one is about intention. So I will read it and I will try to explain it with own examples. The assumption that the speaker has control over the strategy that is selected and that the choice is responsive to the perceived problem. So how do you think, what is the meaning of this statement? It means that while learning a second language, we all have our intention why we need the language. So if you cannot answer the question why you need to learn to acquire a second language, you don't have to learn it, because you cannot do it without an intention. So that at first put intention, and after that you can start. So even I have students I all the time ask, so why you need English? So they cannot answer it to the question, believe me. And it is not all the time the good thing. So that be aware of why you are learning, why you want to learn a second language. So next strategies are about reduction and achievement. So I think that you know the reduction, and what about the achievement strategies? So achievement strategies means working hard on your language, and only after that you can achieve something, in learning process. It is not only about learning languages, but in all sphere, I guess you should try hard to achieve, to succeed in something. Okay. So we will continue the reduction strategies. As you see, they are divided into several categories. The first one is about formal reduction, and the second one is functional reduction. What is the formal reduction? It is the learner communicates by means of reduced system. So as you see, it is something negative, because as you see in this strategy, the student tried to reduce the system, while communicating. So what about the functional reduction? The learner reduces his communicative goal in order to avoid the problem. So as you see here, the person reduces, shortens his communicative goals in order to avoid the problem, because you know that students really like afraid of making mistakes. I all the time say like, don't be afraid, is it okay to make mistakes? But anyway, people afraid of doing mistakes, so that they will try to speak less in order to do less mistakes. And I think that it is the key point. I mean, it's a key mistake that students do, because as much you do the mistakes, it is the chance to like not making them next time. So that never be afraid of like doing mistakes. So what about the achievement strategies? They are code switching, transfer, and paraphrasing. So we will expand the terms in our next page. So about the code switching, you know. What about the transfer? It's like transferring like rules from your own language to a second language. And the third one is about paraphrasing. So the paraphrasing means like when you know something, I mean when you know the language, you can paraphrase. Otherwise, like you cannot. So by the terms of Taron, he was like done this research in 1977. The first one is about avoidance. Yeah, in language learning strategies, in most cases, students try to avoid everything. Yeah, okay, not everything, like the thing which they cannot understand. Yeah, they will try to avoid. So imagine that I conducted the lesson and I explained the future simple. So if we take a grammar, I explained the future simple to my students, and after that we like go on, we proceed the process, and we have to learn the other things like present perfect, I mean the future perfect, and in this case they will try to avoid the rules. Yeah, oh my god, what is so like, it is so difficult, I cannot accept it, I cannot learn the language, never. So it is their huge mistake. So paraphrasing. Unfortunately, not all people can paraphrase, but sometimes like the minority of people are good at paraphrasing. Because if you acquire the second language in an effective way, you can paraphrase words, yeah? You can paraphrase the sentences. So what about the conscious transfer? Conscious transfer means like transferring the rules from your language to a second. And sometimes like transfer may be positive and negative. Yeah, negative transfer may be sometimes we don't have the like suitable rules in both languages. Yeah, they may differ, but anyway students transfer it even in a negative form. So appeal, for instance, and the last one is mime. Let's continue. So avoidance. What is avoidance? Avoidance means like topic avoidance, and we have message abandonment. So what is topic avoidance? It's like avoiding reference to a silent object for which learner doesn't have necessary vocabulary. So here it means like when we don't need, when we have like the object and we don't have to use any kind of vocabulary. So in this case it means like topic avoidance. Yeah. So what is message abandonment? The learner begins to refer to an object but gives up because it is too difficult. Yeah. They will take message but they will not to respond to it because as it's written it is too difficult. So I have mentioned about it. Okay, what about paraphrasing? Paraphrasing means like approximation, and also we have word coinage in paraphrasing. So in the approximation, the learner uses an item known to be incorrect but which shares some semantic features in common with the correct item. So what about the word coinage? Here the learner makes up a new item. So it means like when you try to achieve something, you try to think about your like new methods to achieve the language, yeah, to acquire the language. Here you try to create like your own methods. So as I always mention that not all students are the same, so that they should all have their own like learning strategies. So it is about it, like word coinage means about individual methods for each student. Circumlocution. What is circumlocution? The learner describes the characteristics of the object. So here, like giving descriptions as it's written to character, like giving descriptions, yeah, to the objects. Conscious transfer. So as you see, it will be like literal translation, and it can be like language switch. So in a literal form, as you see, it's written like it is correct, but it's like grammatical way. But in language switch, instead of like balloon, they may like, I mean, people may write balloon, yeah. He invites me to drink in place of they toast one another, yeah. And so I have mentioned about the balloon. Let's continue. Appeal for assistance. So here, as you see, the learner tries to like take advice to consult some authority. Here the learner may not understand the things and she needs the help of other people, yeah? Maybe instructors, teachers. So the last one is like the learner uses a nonverbal device to refer to an object or event. So as you see here, we use our body language, and it's the really helpful thing, and we don't need a verbal like communication here. So the child strategies for filling lexical gaps. Here we have overgeneralization. What is overgeneralization? At first, let me give a definition to this word, to this term. So overgeneralization means like when you took all the things, all the words, all the rules from all the exceptions from your language, and you try to put it into your second language learning process. But not all the time like overgeneralization can lead to positive things. Because as I said, and as I say always, not all the time our rules like can be suitable for each other. So for example, even we can take like verbs, yeah? In Uzbek language we have only like one type of word, but in English language, So the second one is the use of all-purpose terms, and the last one, the process of word creation. Okay, so in order to learn a language, we should, of course, learn the word creation, yeah? We should learn how to put suffixes, how to put like roots, yeah? We should identify the noun from adjective, adjective from adverb, yeah? But sometimes students like confuse a little bit. So regarding the Corder, he did the research in 1978. So we have the types of students who prefer risk avoiding and who prefer risk taking. So the people are so if we start with the risk avoiding, it is the development of the strategies that lead to a lack of linguistic forward movement, yeah? Risk avoiding means, as I said, they're afraid of doing mistakes. That's why they will try to not to speak much in order to do less mistakes. And in a risk taking, so risk takers are the good language learners, and they will try to use any kind of technique to encourage themselves to learn the language, yeah? And of course it led to a good language learning process. So it was the last slide for our today's lesson. and I do hope that you liked it. If you want, you can write comments. I'll try to answer, and next time I will be happy to see you again. Goodbye.